Welcome to Fire Breathing Kittens, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Today is a special episode as we are interviewing our new member, Rook Shields. Hi, Rook.
Hello.
So tell us about yourself, Rook. What do you look like?
Well, I am an elderly gnome. I am about 4 feet tall. I have very bushy white eyebrows that cover most of my forehead and a full-on bushy white beard and mustache, curly mustache. And I wear my armor often. It's like leather scale armor, and I have 2 shields that are strapped to my arms. One is for blocking and one is for hitting people.
Oh, so is your name a nickname then?
It is indeed. It was given to me by a dear friend of mine who is no longer with us.
Yeah.
But the Rook part, that was from my parents. They called me Rook.
Okay. All right. Well, are you ready for our 15... Wait, nope, that would be a question. That would make it one fewer. I'll say. We're about to start our 15-question interview. Question 1. You're a new addition to the Cranbox, Rook. What color would you be and why?
Well, I think sharing a personal color, like a favorite color, that's kind of personal. And so I'm not into a lot of emotion sharing. So let's just say that I am a big fan of shades of blue. All of them. I love them.
Okay. If any of these questions are too personal, you let me know. Just say skip and we'll move on. It's okay. Question 2. What are your strengths, Rook?
Well, I think ultimately my strength is my strength. I may be old, but I still can lift some things, and I think also I have a tendency to sort of be an optimist. I've seen a lot in my life, and I think that I try not to let things get the better of me. Let things kind of, brush off the shoulder. It's fine. You'll get a second chance. That's probably one of my bigger strengths.
That is a great strength. You could be the strongest person in the world, but if you're laying in bed depressed, you can't really do anything with it.
That's right.
Yeah. Question 3. What are your weaknesses?
I think my biggest weakness is I am a pretty closed-off person. Part of the reasons why I like to have the shields is to be able to not talk to people when I don't want to. I think one of my biggest weaknesses is making new friends. When I get friends, I like to keep them, and then I'll protect them, and we'll be best friends forever, but new people worry me.
I understand in like a deep way, but I think the best part of Fire Breathing Kittens is they aren't just random people. They're Fire Breathing Kittens members.
Yeah, I think ultimately Rook he would be very wary of like NPCs and like people they meet, and he would not trust basically everyone else who's not a Fire Breathing Kitten.
Hey. Fair. I've met the NPCs. I mean, after the episode debut performance and 8 is not enough, what can I trust anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Question 4. So, Rook, where did you grow up?
Oh, boy. Well, I think I don't really know for sure. I'm like 360 years old, and so I think I get images more than memories. I remember my mom, she was a gnome as well, and she used to cook sausages for breakfast, and I remember a forest and a cave. I kind of remember I would go into the woods and I would strap tree bark to my arms and I would defend the squirrels from the foxes, but I don't really remember exactly where I grew up. Just kind of a vibe more than a memory.
Yeah. After 300 years, that's more than I remember from 300 years ago, right?
Exactly.
Well, you've come a long way in your time. Why do you want to join the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild?
Well, I used to be an adventurer. I used to be out in the world, and about 50 years ago, I I lost a dear friend of mine, and I went into retirement, and it was good. It was good for like 50 years, have my tea, read a book, but it turns out that it's also boring. And I have decided that if I'm going to go out, I would rather go out with new friends and on an adventure than quietly in a cushy chair in the woods. So I wanted to get back in the game while I can.
As Balpator would say, for glory! And as Jade would say, and a lack of problem to get out of the house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like Rook and Jade will share similar old people mindsets.
Which is like, college costs how much?
Yeah, exactly.
Question 6. Every year, there's a famous fighting tournament that everyone in Nicomoy watches. If you were given a 1-minute advertisement time spot during the annual Nicomoy fighting tournament, what would you fill it with?
So, I think I've sort of addressed this already, but Rook is not one to share his own feelings. He's happy to listen to people, and he wants to listen to people, but he doesn't want to show that side of himself that is vulnerable. However, I am super into painting, and so I think what I would do is I would hire a Bob Ross style painting person to teach people how to paint for a minute, and everybody can paint happy little trees and things like that. And that would bring Rook happiness, is if he could teach other people how to paint.
All right. Probably not a reference because it's not on the playlist, but we do have an episode called Happy Little Trees with a little Bob Ross eco-terrorist. It's a murder mystery in a town at night with a werewolf slowly picking off one person at a time. And in the end, it's Bob Ross.
I love it.
But we took it on because it bad sound quality that season. Anyway, so yeah. Question. But yeah, painting is cool and that would be fun. Question 7. I think I know where this is going. What do you like doing in your spare time, Rook?
Yes, I do love painting. I actually keep like a small easel and like a journal with art pages in it, and painting gear with me at all times so that I can paint things that I like. But I also probably wouldn't show too many people my paintings. They're for me, but I might, paint some things, some scenery and things that I would like. Also, I love drinking tea, and I also like to sleep. I like naps.
It's very 350-year-old, yes. I don't want to say me too. Question 8. Rook, you've been around for a long time now, but surely there's something. What things in life are still a mystery to you?
That's an easy one. People. Can't figure them out. Even after all this time, I thought I'd have a handle on it. Still, every time you meet someone new, it's a little bundle of chaos, and I think I will just never have them figured out, and I think that's okay. It adds some mystery to life, but at the same time, a predictability that you won't know what to expect.
It's
if
true.
That makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely, it does. Yeah, yeah, I get it. All right, question 9. Everybody's got one, but not everyone knows. Some people think they know what it is. They're not right. What's your guess at what your annoying habit is?
Okay, well, I've delved into it a little bit, but Rook, he's had some things happen in his life that have caused him to be, what's the word? See the negative aspects of a situation, and so he will sometimes share stories that maybe were a little bit from a darker point in history, that even though people are enjoying a nice lunch or picnic, Rook will tell them a story about like a terrible time that someone died that he knows. He doesn't have a lot of social not boundaries, but like cues when it comes to that. So I think he probably kills the mood a lot, would be the way I'm thinking about it. And then my other annoying habit is I mentioned that I like naps earlier. Sometimes they happen while people are talking to me, and I don't mean to fall asleep on them, but naps come when they're ready, my body's ready for it. So I think people might get annoyed by that sometimes too.
So it's not that you're taking a nap, it's that the nap is taking you.
Yes. Yeah. It's borderline narcolepsy.
All right. We'll find out what that's like. Question 10. Rook, do you speak any other languages?
I speak only Common, Gnomish, and then Dwarvish. My good friend, before I retired, we were adventuring buddies. He was a dwarf, and he taught me the Dwarvish language. So that's it. Not a lot.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure we have that many members who can speak Dwarvish or Gnomish, so that's a good, unusual one. If everyone kind of went for Dragon, yeah. So it's good. You got to have multiple languages to be able to navigate. Yeah. All right. Oh, question 11. If you had the ability to choose, where would you like to visit?
Well, I've seen a lot. I do think that I've heard that Mount Hokkaido has a zoo. I'd love to go check that out. And then I think just like warmer climates, beaches, that sort of thing. Nothing specific. I've seen a lot. Nothing surprises me too much, but yeah, I definitely want to go see the zoo at least once before, the big day where I die.
Okay. All right. we can do that. Getting into the silly question territory just in time. Question 12. Do you like pickles?
Yes. I think I love pickles, yes, but pickled things too. Like, I imagine Rook has like a pantry full of pickled eggs. Like, I love pickled vegetables, pickled fish, anything pickled is great. It lasts. You can grab it whenever you want. Pickled stuff is a favorite.
And those were some thumbs up, listeners.
That's right.
Yeah, pickled eggs are good. Yes. And fish. And yeah. All right. Question 13. Another silly question. A penguin walks through that door right now wearing a sombrero. What does it say, and why is it here? So
I think I would reach into my pouch and I would pull out my spectacles and I would put them on, and the penguin's features would come into focus, and I would be like, "Rodney, what are you doing here?" And the penguin would look at me and he would say, "Rook, the polar bears are attacking again. We need your help." And I would grab my 2 shields and I would head out the door as if this were a standard Tuesday. Like, Rodney the penguin needs my help. The sombrero is a formal attire, I think, and he's coming to get me, and we're going off to fight some polar bears. That's what I think.
Off to adventure.
That's right.
Yeah. Good, because you're going to be dumped into an adventure the next time that we see you.
Nice.
Good. All right, second to last question. Rook, what would you like remembered about you?
I think I don't care too much about things like legacy or anything like that. I think I would like to be remembered by my friends and have people tell funny stories about things that I did in life, but I'm not worried about like planting a flag or anything like that. I just want to do what's best by my friends, and that's good enough for me.
All right. And very last question. What is one message you would give to your fans?
I would say don't sweat the small stuff out there. Don't make Don't make mountains out of molehills. You got lots of life. I've been alive for a long time, and I think people need to know when to try hard, and people need to know when it's okay to quit. Because sometimes it's okay to quit, and you can try it again another day. I have a saying that my dwarven friend taught me that I like to live by, and that is that it is what it is, and sometimes you can't change it.
I love the contrast. I just did a different interview, and they were like, stay in school, and you're like, drop out of school.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you for joining us, Rook.
Thank you. See you
and
soon.
We'll see you on an upcoming adventure. Goodbye.
Huzzah!